You have entered the dark, half-sunken ruins of Belegost in search of a powerful artifact of ancient treasure. So, here we are for attempt number 2 at Ruins of Belegost. I'm not going to reiterate the preamble going through the special rules for the quest. Just going to get straight into the setup here. So shuffle these, Control Shift H, put Swarm into play face down. Going to move Stalking Rules just to one side. Move the rest of the loot into the encounter deck, along with 2 of these abandoned mines. I'm sticking the rules cards in the victory display, so they're out of my way. Abandoned mines over here. And I'm ready to begin. Inside the Dwarven City, you can feel an evil presence stalking you. Right in. Okay. I'm going to start by playing Legacy of Numenor. Doomed 4. And everyone gets a resource. Then I'm going to play Darren Runes. I'm not sure. But actually, maybe I will ditch the Ranger Spikes. Actually, no. I will ditch Desperate Alliance because I do have 2 more copies, and I really don't need all 3 of them. Darren Runes again. Okay. And I can ditch Invite Pargia probably. So, ditch the Envoy. Now, Legacy of Numenor again. Another Doomed 4. More resources. Okay, so Light of Valinor. And Asphalloth. These are top priorities. And then I will could do the Ranger Spikes. Actually, I'm going to play Wingfoot. And I'm going to play Bomber. Actually, no, I'm going to play Wingfoot and I'm going to play the Ranger Spikes. While over here, play King Under the Mountain, onto Balin, Cram onto Aragorn, use King Under the Mountain. Okay, I'm actually going to discard the sneak attack there, because Sword is broken. It is a great thing to start with. And okay. Beginning of the quest phase, I add a resource to Stalking the Ruins. There's 4 threat in the staging area. I can quest for 4. 7, naming location for Wingfoot. 9, 12. And reveal. This is discarded and replaced by Second Treasury. And Orc of Eredluin lands on the Ranger Spikes. So, I've only added 1 threat to the staging area. I make 7 progress. I will travel to an abandoned mine and look at 4 cards. So my loot is the Book of Allah's Children, and my hazard is a troll. Oh, I did reveal the location, so Aragorn readied from Wingfoot. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to engage the troll right away with Shadow card, and let's just feint it. And attack for 2, 5, 8, dealing 5 damage. Shadow card is discarded. I will exhaust Asphalmoth to put progress on the abandoned mine in the staging area. And Control N. Mountain. Oh. I only have 2 Rivendell bows in the deck. But the shield is really important. I'm actually going to ditch the shield and hope that I don't end up regretting this. Alright, let's play 2 the Herald of Annoying, and then trigger his Doomed 2 to bring in this Westward Traveller, and I'm going to swap these 2 abandoned mines. We'll discover it again. Alright, no loot there, but as a hazard I do get Secret Chamber. And I will play the Rivendell Bow onto Glorfindel. And leave it like that, I think. Unexpected Courage will go on to Baragond. And I play Bomber. I put another resource on Stalking the Ruins. There is 2, 3, 6 threat in the staging area. I can quest for 4, 7, 5, 6, 9, 13. I think that's fine. Obviously I could send Aragorn, but there's no guarantee that he will be ready by Wingfoot. And I think this is enough willpower as it is. So, 13 versus 6. Name is Cave Dweller. Golden Torch. It's discarded and replaced by Orc-Buried Luin. I still don't control any loot, so no attack there. X is currently 3, so I've added 5 threat, and I make 2 progress. That's fine. Now I'm going to travel to the Secret Chamber, raising each threat by 2. And discover 3. Alright, no loot. Hazard is control assigns X damage among characters he controls. X is 1 more than the discover value on the active location. So 4 damage. That should be alright. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or even 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I will have to engage these enemies, so Let's bring down the nameless cave dweller on this side and the authorized room on this side. So, Baragon will defend against the Orc. And he gets +1, +2, so we try to boot. And Baragon will defend against the Troll. Exhaust a character you control, I will exhaust Bomber. Elrond. Oh, Baragon takes 2 damage from that. Elrond will defend against the Nameless Cave Dweller. Assign X damage. Okay. Oh, hang on, no. First, I will exhaust Asphalor to put 2 progress on the secret chamber, which is currently the active location, meaning that the Nameless Cave Dweller is only attacking for 1, and furthermore, assign X damage among characters you control. X is the number of attachments you control. Oh, right. No, it's the when revealed effect of this that relates to the Discover value. The number of attachments I control is 6. I'm going to spend a resource from Barwin to cancel that shadow effect and replace it with nothing. Barwin takes no damage. And I will attack for 6, which kills the troll. Okay, Control N. Spare Asphalor is not that useful right now. Okay, the shield is good. King under the mountain. Alright, I guess there's nothing this deck has to play that's useful. We'll play a Snowball Scout and put 1 progress on the abandoned mine. Then play the Gondorian Shield. Okay. So, at the beginning of the quest phase, I place a resource in the Stock of Ruins, and then since there are 3 resources there, I add now move to the staging area. Then let's quest. So 3, 6, 10, 12, 15. And reveal. Covered pit. Test of will. And something. Oh. I would generally say location for Wingfoot in this quest. I think there are a decent number of locations. So. Okay. Now, before quest resolution, let's exhaust Asphalor to put 2 progress on this abandoned mine, which explores it, meaning that I immediately take control of the Book of Alva's Children. Now, since I control the loot objective and have more than the 6 required progress on this quest stage, I advance the quest. Since I advance the quest, I remove all tokens from stalking the ruins and set now leave the side out of play. Since Keys of Belegost are not attached to a hero, I advance to stage 2A, not stage 2C. As you explore the partially flooded ruins of Belegost, you feel something wet and leathery brush past your leg. The sound of thrashing water echoes from somewhere in the darkness ahead of you, and suddenly a horde of slimy black tentacles strike at you. And then they echo the depths to the staging area. Some hideous creature of a forgotten age attacks your party. You must defeat it if you hope to leave Belegost alive. Players cannot advance unless they control at least 2 loot objectives, and Lurker of the Depths is in the victory display. And when the stage is defeated, the Book of Owl's Children is attached to a hero, advance to stage 3C, otherwise stage 3A. Now, these are each 2 threat, because I have 1 loot. This is 0 threat because of the ranger spikes, so 2, 4, 8. And that 15 will power that. 2, 5, 9, 12, 15. Yep. So I make 7 progress on here straight away. Now, I want to use the book right away, but which deck really wants to be drawing cards right now? I'm thinking this one. Test of Will, okay. Now moving into combat, the Lurker of the Depths is considered to be engaged with each player. So, right. Oh, actually, you know what? No. I was going to say I could exhaust Bomber to cancel the threat of one of these sunken treasuries, since they're underground locations. And that would mean that I would already have made enough progress to complete this quest stage, and I would just need to find a second loot objective and kill the Lurker. But I think I would rather, just in case I get an exhaust a character you control shadow effect, I would rather have Bomber ready for that. Also, I'm not travelling partly because there's a travel cost on those locations, and partly because I've got 1 bit of loot. There are 2 in the discard pile, meaning there is 1 left in the encounter deck, and I don't think my odds are that good. Plus, I can chip away these with Asphalon. So, Elrond will defend against the Lurker. No shadow, he takes 2 damage. Baragon will defend against this. Actually, no. I was thinking Baragon would take damage from the Lurker, but he won't because I got him with shield, so no. Baragon will defend against the Lurker, Elrond will defend against the enormous cave dweller. Scarred Run and card from your hand, it's an event, attacking only gets +2. Alright, there goes my test of will. That's unfortunate. Then Baragon will defend against the Orc of Eredluin. +1 attack. Since I'm chumping anyway, I may as well have Baragon defend the weaker thing, so that he's safer. Attacking me makes an additional attack against you after this one. No. Cancel that with Barlin, and replace it with nothing. The Snowball Scout has done his job. He's dead. Now, I have 6 attack available. Yeah, I'm going to use that 6 attack to put the 4 damage on the Lurker rather than to kill the Nameless Cave Dweller. I could now use up my Cram to ready Aragorn and do 2 damage to the Nameless Cave Dweller, but I think I'll save it. Control him. Okay, King Under the Mountain, Wizard's Voice, that's great. I'm discarding that Envoy of Pelargir. I was going to play We Are Not Idle, Gilton Baron to add a resource to him and draw a card. That Gandalf could come in handy. That Gandalf could come in very handy. Gilton Book to draw a card. Okay, that is also useful, though I was hoping for a Warden of Healing. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Gandalf and deal 4 damage to the Orc to kill it. Over here, I'm going to pay 2 for Mablung. So, there is 8 threat in the staging area. Request for 3, 6, 10, 13, yeah, 13, that'll be fine. Oh, I put a resource on the Stalking the Ruins, of course. Yeah, 13, and reveal. Card Pit. So I discard the Herald of Anorian, and the Restored Traveller reduces my willpower by 3. And Stone Troll, which, of course, because I control Elite, has an engagement cost of 40 rather than 50, so it will be engaging me. Now I'm going to exhaust Bomber to cancel the threat of a Sunken Treasury, so that I do quest successfully. I make 1 progress. I exhaust Asphalt to put 2 progress on the Sunken Treasury, but still not travel. Engage this old Stone Troll, and now combat. The Wizard's Voice. Doomed 3. Each player chooses 1 enemy engaged with him until the end of the phase. Each chosen enemy cannot attack the player that chose it. Don't look like that. So, both decks... Well, okay, so this deck is definitely choosing the Lurker. Actually, this deck will choose the Troll because it attacks for more. So these attacks are not happening. Oh, I suppose I should have quested with Gandalf if I wasn't going to engage anything here. Never mind. Baragon will defend this attack from the Lurker. I will use Darwin to cancel that shadow effect. Okay. Okay, hang on. The map. So, and I've also almost run out the encounter deck. Torch, gem, map. I've got the book, which means the keys are under Stalking the Ruins, so there was no way I could have gotten to stage 2C. And then Baragon will also defend against the Man's Cave Dweller. Box 2, since I control loot, it's still only attacking for 3. Well, actually, yeah, I suppose what I can do is I can have Gandalf declare an attack against the Lurker, which Glorfindel can join in with since he's ranged. And that will deal the 4 damage to the Lurker, and I still have 5 attack available to deal either 2 damage to the Troll or 4 damage to the Nameless Cave Dweller. I'm going to go with 4 damage to the Nameless Cave Dweller. Discard all those shadow cards. Now control R. This deck, of course, has just hit 49 threat, but I can trigger Aragorn. Refresh action, reduce your threat to your starting threat level, and go back down to 30. And then I play Desperate Alliance to give control of Aragorn to this deck, which will also trigger him to go back down to its starting threat level of 27. Gandalf is discarded at the end of the round. And control him. King of the Mountain. Cram and a Snowborn Scout. I'm going to discard the Cram. Over here I will use the book to draw another card. It's not particularly helpful. I think I'll just hold on to that Westroad Traveller. Over here I am playing these 2 Snowborn Scouts. And actually, before I do that, I am going to play We Are Not Idle again. Exhausting Balin to add a resource to them and draw a card. Honor Guard. Okay, that will be useful when I have the resources for it. And then I will indeed play the 2 Snowborn Scouts. Put 2 progress on the sunken treasury in the staging area and explore it. So, add a resource to Stalking the Ruins. There is 6 threat in the staging area. Request for 3, 7, 10. Naming location for Wingfoot 13. And the Secret Chamber, which is Aragorn and Sunken Treasury. So I've added 5 threat. I make 2 progress. It's enough progress. I just need to find another bit of loot. And kill the Lurker. So I'm going to travel to the secret chamber, which requires me to raise threat by 2 and discover 3. Nothing. I'm then going to use Asphalon to explore the secret chamber so that the nameless cave dweller will only be attacking for 1. Doing out shadow cards. Faint. Oh. So yes, I faint the troll since it's the highest attack. Baragond will defend Lurker. The attacking enemy is not unique. It is unique if this attack destroys a character, it doesn't. Baragond will defend against the nameless cave dweller. And the Snowball Scout will defend against the Lurker. That dies. So now I attack for 6. And the Lurker of Depths goes to the victory display. Killed it in the minimum possible time, which is kind of important because next round the dragon will be turning up again. And then this is only 1 defense, so 2 attack is enough to kill it. And I'm left with just the troll. Trolling. And sneak attack. Got another unexpected courage. Use the book to draw another card. Use Key Under the Mountain. Okay, the Ravenwinged Helm is very good, but Sneak Attack Gandalf would be great right now, so yeah, okay. Can't afford the Honor Guard yet, so nothing there. Over here, let's play the Ring of Barahir onto Aragorn. So he gets +1 hit point for each artifact attached to him, so 1, 2, 3 at the moment. I will put prep tokens on him to track his maximum hit points. Currently 8. Let's look forward this unexpected courage. I might just put it on Baragond again. Though Aragorn is also a definite possibility to get more attack. Let's go with Aragorn. And that will be that. Okay, so at the beginning of the quest phase, I was also stalking ruins, and Narug turns up. Now, do I want to sneak attack Gandalf for questing or combat is the question. Questing is not that big a concern at this point. There's 7 threat in the staging area. I don't actually need any progress at all. So, combat, I suppose. 2, 5, 9, 12. Naming Probably still location for Wingfoot. Yeah. Oh no, let's name Treachery. Should we name location? Okay, Treachery is fine. Each player's on deck, damage on characters you can heal at least one more than you discover value on the active location, so just one. 1, 2. I really need to find a Warden of Healer. So I've added 4 threat and 1 progress. And because I built Treachery, Aragorn readied. Let's travel to the Flooded Hall, which is discover 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. No loot, 1 hazard. Let me take a look in the discard pile. The Map of Arid Loon is in the discard pile. So if next round I can travel to the secret chamber, I can definitely get a loot and thus advance the quest. In the meantime, I'm going to use Asphalt to put 2 progress on a second treasury and engage Dragon with this deck. So now move X7520, immune to player card effects cannot take damage. X is the number of resources on Stalking the Ruins, and when he makes an attack, the defending player assigns X damage on characters he controls. So oh. I can't defend this with Beregond, because Beregond only has 6 defense. So he would die no matter what. And I don't have damage cancellation. I could defend it with Aragorn. I suppose that's the safest choice. And it's still not particularly safe, but okay. Aragorn will defend. Now when he attacks, I have to assign 3 damage on characters I control, so let's go 1, 2, 3. Discard 1 random card from your hand if it's an event, +2 attack. Well, there are no events in my hand, so of course I discard the 1 card that would be actually useful out of the 3, but still 7 attack against 2 defense, 5 damage. I really need to draw Warden of Healing. Aragorn will defend against the Troll. Attacking enemy is non-unique. Attach a loot objective you control to it as a guarded objective. But the attack does not destroy a character. So, there goes the book. How much attack do I have? 3, 6, 8, 9. Which would deal 6 damage. Not enough to kill the Troll. Sneak attack Gandalf would then let me kill the Troll next round. But honestly, no, I'm going to take the risk of cancelling this shadow and hope I don't replace it with something worse. After this attack, an enemy engages the next player, then makes an immediate attack. That is arguably worse. But here we go. Aragorn will defend again. If you control the loot objective, I do not. No damage is done. I can't do any damage in return. because Old Stone Troll, only the engaged player can declare attackers against it, and now we cannot take damage. Control N. Command of the Mountain. Obviously, I discard Command of the Mountain. And let's exhaust the book to draw a card. Still not finding anything useful. Play the Envoy, add resource to Wolfendel. Over here, I'll play the Honor Guard. I'll play the Spear onto Beregond for free. I'll play this Cram onto Beregond. And then I've got the Sneak Attack Gandalf. At the beginning of the quest phase, I had resource to Stalking the Ruins and return now to the staging area. There is a level threat up there, so we can quest for 2, 5, 9, 12, 15, 17, 21. Naming location for Wingfoot. Let's go. 21. Okay, this is 5 threat. Everyone's ready. 5 threat because this is discover 4 and this is level 3, so that's 8 threat added. I will exhaust Bomber to cancel the threat of a secret chamber since it's underground. So I make 5 progress. And there we go, this is explored. Travel to the secret chamber, raising each depth step by 2. Discover 3. Alright, Wolven Torch. And then I will exhaust Aspharoth to explore the secret chamber and attach the Dwarven Torch to Aragorn, which gives him another hit point. This advances the quest, so now Lug goes away. Since the Book of Owl's Children is attached to a hero, I advance to stage 3C instead of stage 3A. So that's stage 2C that I didn't get to go to. This is stage 3A, which I don't go to, though it's possible that I might later. Stage 3C. Your exploration of Belegost has brought you down to the very roots of the Ered Luin mountain range. Here in the utter black, a patchwork of tunnels and pitfalls create an impassable labyrinth. You need a map to find your way. When revealed, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal one encounter card per player. So, shuffle into encounter deck. And reveal Secret Chamber and Darkness Tunnel. The discover value of the active location is increased by 1. During the travel phase, the players must travel to a location if able. Forced, when this stage is defeated, if map of Ered Luin is attached to a hero, advance to stage 4A. Otherwise, advance to stage 3E. So, that was the travel phase, so now I'll just engage this nameless Cave Dweller. And deal out shadow cards. Beregond will defend, dealing damage with the spear. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack against you after this one. Yeah, okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I will defend it with Aragorn. After this attacking enemy engages the next player, then makes an immediate attack. That one I'm going to cancel, just because I don't want it to change who it's engaged with. Replace it with, if you control the loot objective, put Blue Mountain Goblin into play engaged with you and deal it a shadow card. Okay, this is getting annoying, but... you know what, I've got a chump for the troll, so I'm going to defend this with Baragond. +1, +2, you control root, which I do, but that's still nothing to Baragond. And then I'll chump the troll. Snowball Scout is dead. I have not actually had to cancel any damage at any point. So now I exhaust the Dwarven Torch. Choose a non-unique enemy, that enemy gets -1 attack and -1 defense until the end of the phase. I choose the Blue Mountain Goblin. So it only has 1 defense and has 2 hit points remaining. So Aragorn can kill it by himself. And then I could use the Crown to ready Aragorn to kill this, or I could just do 2 damage to it and leave it at that. Let's see, of course there's no loot in the discard pile at this point because we just advanced. Yeah, I'm going to use the Crown to ready Aragorn so that you can attack with Glorfindel and kill the Nemo's Cave Dweller. Control aim. Master of the Forge is good. And the Mountain Sword that's broken, and Galadriel. Discard the sword that was broken and play Galadriel. Look at the top 5 cards of my deck. The only attachment in there is the bow, which I will put onto Aragorn. So next round I will draw the Feint and then use King Under the Mountain to grab Golden Pony and discard the Herald of Anórien, and then I'll draw the Envoy of Pelargir the round after that. I will play this Gondorian Shield onto Elrond. Now over here, play the Master of the Forge. Searching for attachments. That last unexpected courage could be good. So could the Ranger Spikes. I'm actually going to grab the Ranger Spikes right now. And then I will exhaust the book to draw a card. Deep Knowledge. I'm going to do it. Deal 2. Draw 2. Oh, no. Sorry. No, I'm not. Because I know how this deck is stacked. So, I never remember when I've done stuff like that, how the deck is laid out, so it's not really going to matter. Okay, so I'll play those Ranger Spikes. Obviously, I use the Master of the Forge first, because if I remove attachments from my deck, then it increases the chances that I draw not an attachment with the Book of Allah's Children, and therefore increases the chances that I draw a Warden of Healing, which is the thing I'm really looking for. So, quest phase, put a resource in stock of rooms. There is, I control 2 loot now, so these are 3 each. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 threat in the staging area. Meaning treachery. Any treachery for Wingfoot. 3, 7, 10, 12, 15, 18. 20. Okay, treachery. Doomed 1. And add 1 to the total threat in the staging area for each character controlled by the first player until the end of the phase. Fortunately, it happened while this deck was first player, so it's only 5 threat. Well, that already brings me up to breaking even. And then Covered Pit. That happened this way around. Okay, so Covered Pit, each player discards an ally he controls. I will discard Galadriel and Envoy, which loses me 5 willpower. I'll exhaust Bomber to cancel the threat of one of these 3 threat locations. And exhaust Asphalloth to finish exploring this sunken treasury, thus removing another 3 threat, so I make 1 progress. Okay, no loot in the discard pile, so I don't want to go to a secret chamber. Really, I want to go to a sunken treasury, but I suppose maybe I should just sneak attack Gandalf in the quest phase to avoid that effect. Maybe I just go to the secret chamber anyway. There are 2 of them. So, okay. Because I don't want to add the resource to stock in the room either. Secret chamber, raises player threat by 2. And the discover value of the active location is increased by 1, so I discover 4 rather than 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. None of those are loot, and none of those are hazards. So nothing comes of this. Alright. Okay, so in the combat phase, I'm going to sneak attack Gandalf. And for his enters play effect, I will deal 4 damage to this old stone troll. I'm going to exhaust the Dwarven Torch, targeting the old stone troll, to reduce its attack and defense by 1 until the end of the phase. Beregond will defend, dealing a point of damage with the spear. Shadow says assign X damage on a character you control X is the number of attachments you control. You may discard the highest cost attachment you control to cancel this effect. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Baragon obviously takes no damage. I can now attack for 5. The old Stone Troll's defense is 2 because I reduced it with the Dwarven Torch. So I deal 3 damage and kill the troll. At the end of the phase, Gandalf comes back to my hand, and then Control N. And King of the Mountain. Okay, so once again, Master of the Forge first. No attachments in there. Shuffle. Exhaust the book. Draw Daron's runes. Play Daron's runes. Discard Light of Valinor. As risky as it is, I think I really need to do this Deep Knowledge. There we go, Warden of Healing. Okay. So, play the Warden of Healing. Play the Final Unexpected Courage onto Beregond. Play the Envoy of Pelagir. And add the resource to Elrond. Over here, I can play Build a Pony for free. I'll get 3 for Galadriel. Look at the top 5 cards. Okay, so Celebrian Stone I will obviously put onto Aragorn, which gives him a spirit icon and 1 more hit point and 2 more points of willpower. Then next round I want to draw Sneak Attack and King Under the Mountain, please. And that'll be that. So now okay, at the beginning of the quest phase I add resources to Stalking Ruins. Now let me think, if I reveal that treachery that deals damage, it would be, because the discover value is increased by 1, it would be 5 damage. I do 2, 3, 4, cancel 1. I should do some healing right now. So let's heal 1, 2, 3, 4, and ready the Warden. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and ready the Warden. And I'll leave it at that for the moment. So there is 3, 6, 9 threat in the staging area. So for Wingfoot, I suppose I want to name location. Crossing 5, 9, 12, 14, 17, 20. Location, Aragorn readies. Another location. That's added 4 threat, I make 7 progress. 1, 2. Okay. When the stage is defeated, if the map of Arid Luin is attached to a hero, advance to stage 4A, otherwise advance to stage 3E. So I advance to stage 3E. Might have been better if I hadn't and could have stuck around here a bit longer trying to find the map. But here we go, stage 3E. The book you recovered explains how the dwarves kept their treasure in secret vaults, each one marked by a stone guardian. As you explore the mines, you find what looks like a doorway blocked by the statue of a dwarf sentry. One of the guard's eyes is a glittering gem, but the other socket is empty. Perhaps if you could find the missing gem, you could open the hidden passageway. When revealed, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal one encounter card per player. So, shuffle into encounter deck and reveal 2 more cards. Flooded Hall and Old Stone Troll, which cannot have player card attachments, so it will not land on my ranger spikes. During the travel phase, the players must travel to a location at able. Forced after resolving the Discover keyword, if no hazard card was revealed by that effect, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. And forced when this stage is defeated, if Blue Mountain Gem is attached to a hero, advance to stage 4A, otherwise advance to stage 3A. So, okay. I will travel to the Flooded Hall. Discover 4. Okay, there's the map. Too late, I've already moved on to a different stage. And the Flooded Hall, when I'm resolving the Discover keyword, I reveal an additional hazard card for each other player in the game, so I reveal 2 hazards rather than just 1. So let's do random number 1 to 3, and that will be the hazard I do not reveal. 2. So I don't get this nameless cave dweller, but I do get the secret chamber and the other nameless cave dweller. I'll exhaust Asphalt to put 2 progress on the abandoned mine. Oh, because I advanced the quest, the resources are gone from stalking the ruins. This deck is first player, that's good, so this deck can engage both of the enemies, one optionally and one not. Deal shadow cards. Baragond will defend. This is attacking for 5. +1, +2, you control the loot. Which puts it up to 7 attack, which would actually deal damage to Baragond. I will cancel that damage. Now Baragond defends against the troll. The attacking enemy is non-unique. It is, so attach the loot objective you control to it. Do I have enough attack power to take down this troll right away? Considering that I can reduce its defense. So it could be 2 defense, 7 hit points remaining. Can I attack it for 9? I can. So it can have the book. And the other part of the shadow effect is if this attack destroys a character, which it does not. Now I will exhaust the Dwarven Torch to reduce the Old Stone Troll's attack and defense by 1. And then I will attack for 2, 5, 8, 9 against the 2 defense troll, dealing 7 more damage. So I just take the book straight back again. And Aragorn is still ready, but he doesn't have enough attack to actually damage the nameless cave dweller. Warden of Healing will heal Aragorn and Bomber. Oh no, Glorfindel still has 4 damage. So Aragorn and Glorfindel. Discard this shadow card. Galadriel is discarded at the end of the round. Control N. Just these a bit. I should actually move my hero slightly farther apart since everyone has so many attachments. Okay, here I draw Sneak Attack, Command of the Mountain, Galadriel, and I do not want Lexi Numenor now. This is not the time anymore. Over here, let's use this Master of the Forge. Grab the range spikes. And then play the second Master of the Forge. And grab Thrall's Map. Play Thrall's Map, it's another artifact. So Aragorn gets another hit point. Oh, was I going to play anything over here? Yeah, it's... No, I do want to keep a resource on Baragon for Feint, but I'll play the Envoy and add the resource back to Elrond. Right, and exhaust the book to draw. Okay, so no, I should have. No, we'll leave it. I can play the second ward in the next round. There's not actually that much damage in play. So, quest phase, add a resource, Stalking the Ruins. 6, 9, 12. 16 threat in the staging area. And request 2, 5, 10, 14, 17, 18, 19, naming location for Wingfoot again. It's 19 enough. Catherine, Bomber, Asphalth. Yeah, 19. Reveal Orgver Luin, which lands on the range of spikes, but when revealed, makes an immediate attack against each player that controls at least one loot objective, which means this player. So Elrond will defend, he's 4 defense, so that's fine. This is immediately discarded after resolving the attack. And Abandoned Mine. Aragorn readies. That's another 2 threat added. So I'm currently only making 1 progress. However, I can use Asphalth to explore this abandoned mine in the staging area, removing 2 threat, and I can exhaust Bomber to cancel the threat of the 3 threat location. So I make 6 progress. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll attach the map of Ered Luin to Balin. And now, of course, during the travel phase, the players must travel to a location available. Although I have Thrall's map, that's a travel action, and the opportunity to take actions in the travel phase comes after your opportunity to travel. So I have to travel right now. so I'm going to go to an abandoned mine. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we get the concealed spikes. Each player assigns X damage. X is one more than the discover value, so 3 damage. I'll cancel 1 point of that damage with the Honor Guard. So it'll be 1, 2, and 1 cancelled, and 1, 2, 3. So everything is neatly in 2s for purposes of healing with Elrond. Okay. This is all the combat I have. Baragon defends, dealing damage with the spear. There's the Blue Mountain Gem. So next round I can go to a secret chamber and hopefully get the gem. And now I can attack for 6 and kill, and then it's Cave Dweller, and then we'll heal Baragond and Balin. Given the existence of effects which deal damage to each player, I want to make sure that this deck still has a high stock of hit points and it has less hit points in general, so I've potentially focused the healing more on this side than this side because there are plenty of hit points over here with Aragorn and more allies. So, Control N. Draw. Okay, I'm obviously going to get rid of the Wizard's Voice out of those. Let's use my Masters of the Forge. Are there any attachments left in my deck? That's a good question. I found all my Ranger Spikes. I found all my Unexpected Courages. I found all my Aspharoths and Lights of Valinor. I think there's another Ring of Bow here. No, there's only one Ring of Bow here, isn't there? Only one Thrall's Map, only one Wingfoot. I might have run out of attachments in my deck. So I've got the deck list here. Yeah, I think I've found all the attachments in this deck. So I shouldn't bother. Doesn't have any more. So now let's play the final copy of Ranger Spikes. Actually, let's go with the second Warden P1. And use the book to draw a card. Arwen. Who I will play. She will be targeting Elrond unless I say otherwise. Over here, play the Honor Guard. And yeah, okay. Play Galadriel. 5 cards is all that's left of my deck. Spear of the Citadel. I mean, I suppose I could put that into play. I could attach it to an Honor Guard. It's unlikely to be relevant, but there's no particular reason for me not to do it. And then I think the rest of that is fine. So I'll attach that speed of the Citadel to an honor guard. Alright. Add a point of threat. This is now 4 threat. I will control 3 route. So 4, 7, 10, 13, 15. Any location for Wingfoot. 5, 9, 12, 15, 17, 20, 23. Okay. Doomed 1. And this deck is first player, so that will add a whole load of threat to the staging area. I'm going to cancel it. And an old stone troll. So I make 5 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How does the encounter deck look? Yeah. I think I'm okay with this. So I'll explore the abandoned mine, and now I will travel to the secret chamber. Which does mean that I have to raise my threat by 2 on both sides, which is unfortunate. But it should be alright. Discover 3. My hazard is a new secret chamber. But now, because no loot was attached to secret chamber, I search the discard pile for a loot and attach it to secret chamber. So Blue Mountain Gem. And now I will exhaust Asphalth. Note, of course, I think I've already done this. Abandoned mine blocks progress on locations in the staging area which are not abandoned mines, but it does not block the active. And I just realized I cancelled a treachery earlier, which, since this was in the staging area, should have discarded the top card of the encounter deck, and if it was a hazard, then I resolve its staging. Which I don't know if I want to discard for it now or try and unpick how things would have gone otherwise. I think I can still unpick it reasonably at this point. So test of will. Okay, so I would have discarded the old stone troll, which is a hazard, so it would have been revealed, and that would have still been my first card. And then, when I travelled to the secret chamber, there was an Orc of Ered Luin. Oh no, secret chamber. So I would have revealed that secret chamber, and then when I travelled, which would have meant I'd made 3 less progress. But I could have exhausted Bomber to cancel the threat of a location, a 3 threat location to make the same progress, or a 4 threat location to make 1 more. I just read the Asphalth while I'm going through this. So that would have worked out fine, and I just had this secret chamber. But then, when I travelled, my discover was would have been Orca Road Ruin, Sunken Treasury, and one more card. An Abandoned Mine, meaning no hazard, which means that after resolving the Discover keyword, I didn't get a hazard, so I reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Spawn of Thangaraj. If Nalu is in play, it makes immediate attack against the first player. If Nalu is not in play, place one resource on Stalking the Ruins. Then if there are at least 3 resources on Stalking the Ruins, add Nalu to the staging area. Okay, Dragon Time. Okay, now I exhaust Asphalot to put 2 progress on the Secret Chamber, which explores it, and I attach the Blue Mountain Gem to Aragorn, which gives him another hit point, and I will then... oh yeah, I did the relocation. I'll then exhaust the gem to reduce this deck's threat by 1. Would have been nice to get it sooner, when my threat was a bit lower, but we can cope with this. So that was my travel phase. And now we come to the encounter phase. So I'll engage both the enemies over here. Now I control 4 pieces of loot, so the old Stone Troll's engagement cost is 10, so the shadow cards are dealt in this order. Baragond will defend. Let's do the troll first. Dealing a bunch of damage with the spear, discard a random card from the hand if it's an event, attacking enemy gets +2. That's fine. And Baragond will also defend against the dragon. You control the loot objective, put the anti-goblin into play, engage for into a shadow card. I mean, at this point, that's not something that concerns me hugely, so sure. Baragond will defend against the goblin. Cynex damage. This I will cancel. And it's replaced with exhaust a character you control. I will exhaust a Master of the Forge. Oh, sorry, when Nalug attacked, I had to assign 3 damage among characters I control. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's see. It would take 10 attack to kill this Stone Troll, or 9 if I use the torch. I think I'll go for that. Torch. Attack for 9. Kill the troll. And then Aragorn attacks for 3 and deals 1 more damage to the goblin. It will die to the spear next round. And I can heal Glorfindel, Aragorn, Elrond, Glorfindel. Discard these shadow cards and control N. Galadriel is discarded at the end of the round. King under the mountain, put power of the Noreen and discard its voice. And I'm not playing anything over here. Over here, I exhaust the book to draw a card, and the gem to lower my threat by 1. And let's play those Ranger Spikes. Now, at the beginning of the quest phase, Dragon goes back up. Threat in the staging area is 5, 8, 11, 13, 16, 20. But I only need to make one progress to advance the quest. And I do have the Mountain Gem, so I will be going to stage 4. I mean, if I really wanted to, I suppose I could figure out what's left in the encounter deck at this point. There's remaining 4 cards. But I don't really want to take the time to do that. There are 2 Nameless Cave Dwellers still left in there, so I'll name enemy for Wingfoot. So I'm questing for 5, 9, 12, 15, 17, 20, 22. Given that I can use Bomber and the map to reduce the threat by 7, that should be fine. So we reveal Echoes in the Dark. Okay, maybe it's not completely fine. Doomed 1. I can also bring them both here. Fortunately, again, it's this deck that's first player, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat added. And Covered Pit. Well, that will reduce the threat in the staging area, because the first player controls less characters. So I'm questing for 22 against 26, but I can exhaust Bomber to make this Sunken Treasury not contribute to threat, which brings me down to 21, which is all I need. So I make 1 progress, and I advance the quest, which means I remove all the resources from here and set Nalug aside out of play. After fleeing the breaking of Thangorodrim, the great worm Nalug hid itself in the ruins of Belagost. The fire dragon hoarded the wealth it found there into a giant golden bed at the center of a large underground lake. If you wish to claim the treasure for yourself, then you must slay Nalug. When revealed, add Nalug and Nalug's lair to the staging area, shuffle Sword of Belagost and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So the dragon comes straight back, but there are no resources currently on Stalking the Ruins, so X is 0, which can make a difference. And Sword of Belagost and the discard pile are shuffled into the encounter deck. While Nalug's lair is in the victory display, Nalug loses the text "cannot take damage." Forced after Nalug attacks, if it was dealt a shadow card with no shadow effect, it engages the next player, then makes immediate attack. Do not deal it a shadow card for this attack. When Nalug is defeated, the players win the game. So well, and Nalug's lair, 4 threat, 6 quest points, discover 5 immune to player card effects. Forced when Nalug's lair is explored, add the loot objective from underneath Stalking the Ruins to the staging area face up, and travel, place X resources on Stalking the Ruins where X is the number of players. Now sometimes I've come to this point and figured that it could actually be worth delaying going to Nalug's lair, because, well, particularly if you have Nameless Cave Dwellers in play, obviously they would then have an X of 6, so they'd be 6 threat, 6 attack, 6 defense, while Nalug's lair is the active location because of Discover 5. And just in general, adding the resources obviously makes Naluk more dangerous, and if you're dealing with other enemies at the same time, plus the Discover 5 means you're more likely to get another hazard, which could cause you problems. So there are, and of course, using other locations if you have some shenanigans available, like some of the things that I've got in this deck, which I haven't actually been using that much. You can trigger multiple Discover keywords and try to dig through the deck for the Sword of Belagost, which can be very helpful. However, at this point, this deck is at 48 threat. I think trying to deal with the dragon as fast as possible is a good idea. Plus, the only other enemy in play that I have to deal with is this Blue Mountain Goblin, which will die to the Spirit Citadel. So, Discover 5. 1, 2, 3. There's the sword. 4, 5. And there's my hazard. Covered pit, so I will discard my other Master of the Forge and build a pony. Sword of Belagost attaches here. And now, well, okay, it doesn't actually matter that much where I put the dragon, so I'm going to put it here. Oh, and the travel cost, of course, was to put 2 resources on Stalking the Ruins. And, okay, I'm going to stack these orcs on top of each other, because neither of them is contributing any threat. And I'm running out of space for things. Because the only enemies that can end up in range of spikes are the Orcs of Aedirn and the Blue Mountain Goblins. Everything else can't have attachments, or can't have player card attachments. So, shadow cards. Baragon defends the Goblin and it dies to the Spear. Baragon defends against Nalug. I have to assign 2 damage among characters I control. I will assign it to Glorfindel. There is a shadow effect, which means that Nalug will stay put. Assign X damage among characters. Except I don't actually want to resolve that shadow effect, because the number of attachments I control is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I do have that many hit points, but I would rather not. So I may cancel this, even though it risks now moving. On the other hand, I don't know. Maybe I ride it out. So 14 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 here. Okay. Oh, I can cancel some of that damage. I will cancel 1 point of that damage. And I will also cancel the damage that Baragon would take from the attack. Right, so I'll take away this damage. Obviously there's no point in attacking anything. I'll just heal up. Aragorn both times, and Elrond and Glorfindel. Discard the shadow card and control N. Oh, I should have used Asphaleth on the abandoned mine in the staging area, because I can't use it on anything else, obviously. Okay, use the book to draw a card. Use the gem to drop my threat by 1. And here I draw We Are Not Idle. I pay 2 for my 3rd Honor Guard. I'm going to use We Are Not Idle. Since We Are Not Idle doesn't specify that you have to add the resources to a hero you control, I'll exhaust Balin to add a resource to Aragorn, meaning that I can potentially get more healing done by readying Wardens. Okay, so at the beginning of the quest phase I add a resource here, and since there are at least 3, now it goes back to the staging area. Of course, if I hadn't travelled immediately to Nalug's lair, then I would have just gone from 0 to 1, and Nalug would have stayed engaged. So 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 19. 19 threat. So I'm questing 5, 8, 11, 15, 18, sneak attacking Gandalf. Sneak attacking Gandalf, dropping the Dex threat by 5. I've lost count. So 3, 7, 10, 13, 17, 22, 24. Just do that now. Yeah, okay, 24. And naming location for Wingfoot again. Okay. Alright, that lands on the Ranger Spikes, but while the loot objective is attached to a hero, Blue Mountain Goblins gain Surge. Darkened Tunnel. So I've added 7 threat to the staging area. Means I would be breaking even, but I'm going to exhaust Bomber to discount the threat of this sunken treasury, and the map of Ered Luin, targeting any of the other locations to reduce its threat by 2, which brings me down to 17 threats, so I make 7 progress. Now that it's there, it goes to the victory display. I get the Sword of Belagost, and of course, when Nalug's lair is explored, add the loot objective from underneath Stalking the Ruins to the staging area face up. So I also get the Keys of Belagost. Finally, and attach them to Aragorn, so he's up to 14 max hit points, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 artifacts. Yep, 14 hit points. Yeah, because it's very handy, of course, that all the loot cards have the artifact trait, so the Ring of Barahir works overtime in this quest. Now, I am not going to travel because that would trigger the discover keyword, and there is no loot. There is no more loot to be had from the encounter deck, only hazards. I'm going to just stack my Ranger Spiked Goblins on top of each other. Or Ranger Spiked Orcs, rather. And now the question that I have to consider is, do I think... Oh, Gandalf returns to my hand. The question I have to consider is, do I think that Nalug is going to get a shadow card with a shadow effect, or a shadow card with no shadow effect? Because obviously that affects whether he engages the next player and then makes an immediate attack. I'm going to guess with a shadow effect. And thus engaging with this deck, which is the deck that I want to be engaged with him because it has more attack power. Though, since Glorfindel and Aragorn are both ranged, it's not so bad either way. Aragorn will defend. Of course, unlike the Lonely Mountain, I really didn't have room in the decks to include a means of discarding Narluke's shadow cards. So, I have to assign 3 damage among characters I control. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. I'm going to cancel 2 points of that damage. And the shadow effect says there is a shadow effect, so that's fine. Discard a random card from my hand if it's an event. Attacking enemy gets +2 attack. I'm going to exhaust the Sword of Belagast. I didn't actually read this. Keys of Belagast can be exhausted to add a resource to a hero's pool, and I'll do that to add it to Aragorn. The Sword of Belagast is restricted, but Aragorn has a free restricted slot. His only other restricted attachment is Celebrating Stone. And attached hero gets +4 attack. Response, exhaust Sword of Belagast to cancel a shadow effect just triggered. Which I will do. Because although I cancelled the shadow effect, this shadow card still had a shadow effect, so it doesn't trigger this force effect to have Narluke engage this player and make another attack. I will cancel the 1 damage that Beregond would take from that attack. So, okay, the Dwarven Torch doesn't work on Narluke because he's weak. How much can I attack for? Aragorn is +4 attack from the sword, so 2, 9, 12. 7 damage. I need to hold back more of my guys from questing, really. Well, I don't have many more guys to hold back, I suppose. Mablung and the Envoy. And heal up. Heal. And ready the Warden. And that's enough. Discard that shadow card. Control N. Excellent. Okay, so I exhaust the keys to add another resource to Aragorn. I will exhaust the gem to drop the stack's threat by 1. I'll exhaust the book to draw a card. Excellent. So I'll play both of these Handmaidens and drop this deck's threat by another 2. So it becomes slightly less potentially nerve-wracking with that treachery that has doomed 1. Over here, I'm going to pay 2 for the Herald of Annoying, but obviously not trigger his Doomed 2 ability. And that's it. I can save Gandalf for another round. Beginning of the quest phase, I put a resource here, and it goes back to the staging area. I'm going to use Asphalok now to clear a secret chamber. So, I now control 6 bits of loot. 6. So, the Sunken Treasury is 7 threat. So, 7, 10, 16, 20, 24 threat in the staging area. So let's quest 3, 6, 9, 13, 18, naming location again, naming treachery, I've lost count, 3, 6, 9, 13, 18, 20, 23, 24. I don't actually need progress. And I can exhaust Bomber and the map to reduce the threat by 9. So, yep. Okay. Now that he's in play, it makes an immediate attack against the first player. Baragon will defend, and I have to assign 4 damage on characters I control. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attacking enemy gets +1, +2 if you control loot objectives. So, it's attacking for 9. Baragon would take 3 damage from that. I will cancel all of that damage. Second card of staging. Old Stone Troll. Okay, so 27. But I can exhaust Bomber to cancel the 7 threat of the Sunken Treasury, and Mercadero to cancel 2 threat of something else. Taking it down to 18 threat, so I make 6 progress that I don't need. Still not traveling. Okay. I guess I'll engage the troll here, and now it will come down here. So I'm just going to heal up those honor guards. Oh, there was a treachery. Aragorn readied. Baragon's defense is +2. Oh, and I have to assign the 4 damage again. So Baragon will take 3 damage. In retrospect, I shouldn't have cancelled all the damage before, just in case there was another shadow effect which would actually kill him later in the round. But I will use a Warden and then ready it afterwards. And because there was a shadow effect, now that it does not move. No, actually, yeah, no, I'll cancel that shadow effect. So, yeah, and Baragon will also defend the troll. Exhaust a character you control. That's fine. And exhaust this envoy. So now there's no one ready over here to attack, but I can attack at ranged for 7, 10. Do another 5 damage. And then I can attack here for also 10, which is enough to kill the troll. Heal up those honor guards again. Discard that shadow card. And control N. Quick beam is good. Exhaust the book to draw a card. Exhaust the keys to add a resource. Exhaust the gem to drop my threat. Okay, let's Pay 2 for Quick Beam, dealing the damage to him to ready him. And that's it. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Gandalf, and drop my threat by 5 again. Beginning of quest phase, I had resources stored in the ruins, and now it goes back to the staging area. So, 5 threat. This is really the point in the quest at which these decks have the most trouble actually having enough attack power to kill the dragon. Everything else they can kind of manage, but at this point it slows down a bit. Well, I say it slows down a bit. It took me a while to get here in the first place, but it was never really a problem except for maybe the risk of threatening out, which is still the biggest risk here. So, 5, 9, 12, 15, 22, less than last round. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 15, 19, 24, 26, 29, that should be okay. Okay, now let me just take a glance at the discard pile. Pretty sure there are only 2 copies of this treachery, so I don't have to worry about it. And that's the only thing that could really mess up my questing. I'll name location for Wingfoot. Location. And then Scarecrow, okay. So only 3 threat added. I don't even need to use the map or bomber for progress that I don't need. Still not traveling. And I will engage both enemies with this deck. So first, let's find out if Nalig is staying put or moving. I have to assign 5 damage to 1 character I control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaust a character you control. I will exhaust Bomber, and Nalig is staying put. I've managed to actually avoid getting really swarmed by enemies in this particular playthrough. Some test plays I was ending up with tons of enemies, and I could deal with them because, I mean, Aragorn has 14 hit points and I can keep healing him up really quickly with Wardens and Elrond, and potentially spare resources, potentially adding more resources with the keys, and I had means of mitigating the damage from undefended attacks, like using the torch and cancelling damage. But in this case it just hasn't come up. Okay. So that's fine. And now we'll heal this. Let's just heal up everything for the hell of it. And now I can attack for 7, 9, 12, 15 to deal another 10 damage. which is more than enough to kill Nalug and thus cause me to win the game. There we go. A very long game, which certainly can happen because you can spend quite a while going around looking for the right loot. I've actually had great problems with stage 3 in this quest, where I end up in a situation where I am totally in control, but I'm questing hard enough that I complete each of these stages in one round, because they only require 6 progress. And then that means that I just advance to the next one, and because they each shuffle the encounter discard pile back into the encounter deck and then before revealing cards, every time I'm in the situation of having the minimum chance of actually finding the loot that I need because I've just shuffled everything back in. As I said, the only real risk for these decks was threating out, but I knew that I could get the Blue Mountain Gem to just stabilize my threat. And this deck had Gandalf. I mentioned the point about potentially undefended attacks. Oh, I never got to use Distant Stars. No Druid this time round, which obviously could have been very potent to potentially travel to a location, attach a loot to it from the Discover keyword, then trigger Distant Stars by exhausting Aragorn to discard that location, meaning I immediately claim that loot, and then replace it with a different location, which would trigger the Discover keyword again, because Discover triggers when a location becomes the active location, not just when you travel to it. And so that could potentially find me another loot. So if I picked a Secret Chamber, which is only 2 quest points, as my replacement location, then I could get another loot and immediately explore it with Asphalloth to claim that second piece of loot in the same travel phase. Though, of course, I would not be able to trigger the response on Secret Chamber because, again, that response is only when you travel to the Secret Chamber, not just when it becomes active. Oh yeah, of course, potentially, if this deck got bogged down with an old Stone Troll, or more significantly, if Nalug ended up moving at the end, I think at this point it would have been fine because I had Gandalf plus my 2 ranged heroes with the Rivendell bows, and that would have been enough attack, factoring in the damage that I'd done already. But potentially I could have ended up in a situation where this deck was short of attack to kill Nalug, and that was actually a secondary potential use of Desperate Alliance to just move a hero across the table for that little bit of extra attack. Other than that, I think I did do everything that the deck's intended to do. It worked out very well, even though it took a long time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.